Hey guys, I'm Ellie, and this is Read with Owls. So, we are on to part 2, week 2 of this challenge. I'm reading page counts, pages, the amount of text messages I get from my active group chat. If you haven't seen part 1, that is on my channel. Go and watch it before you actually come and watch this. So, a bit of a recap. This challenge goes from Sunday to Saturday a week, and I'll be reading every time I get a text message from our group chat, because we got that one active group chat. Last week was proper success. I read 7 books and 2,271 pages overall, which is absolutely mental to me, because of the fact that I had enough text messages to read that many pages and that many books. Each text, there's rules for this, on how many pages I read. Hannah sends a picture of her outfit, it's 5 pages. B sends a picture of her kids, because she has a niece and nephew, she doesn't have 10 pages. I challenged it. 1 page per normal text. If I'm tagged in text, 10 pages. If we talk about Criminal Minds, per text message about Criminal Minds from group chat is 5 pages. If B talks about her kids, 10 pages. If a Facebook post gets sent to the group chat, 15 pages. If an emoji is sent, just the emoji, 5 pages. If Hannah mentions a job, 5 pages. If we talk about NCIS, per page is per text is 10 pages. Hannah mentioned a family. It's the same if B does as well, 10 pages. Any group sent to a group chat, like it's a normal group chat, that's not like a food, like screenshots and things like that. 10 pages. Any gifts, 5 pages. The nurse is mentioned, 10 pages per text. And these are sort of like new rules I put in towards the end of part 1, and I didn't mention it, I forgot to mention it. One Direction is mentioned, 20 pages, because we are absolutely, me and Hannah, we talk about One Direction, probably on the regular. So I decided that if we talk about it, 20 pages. They talk about their pets, 10 pages, and if they tag me in a Facebook post, 15 pages. So, the first book I am picking up for this challenge, for this week, is Raised by a Serial Killer. Basically, last video, I ended on the Inheritance Games, which was fucking insane, because what do you mean? And obviously, as I said in my, ending clip, that Jennifer Lynn Barnes knows how to write a book, so I obviously read the night talks about her, and I do a thing where I have to do library book, then I have to do a book off my physical TBR, and then another library book, mainly because I go to the library on the regular basis. I'm trying to go to the library on the regular basis now, so, and I always come back with the library books, and I also got 100 plus physical TBR that I need to get through. So, and I like to have 2 books besides this, so 3 books that I'll be reading, not at once, but so if I finish doing this, I'll read a physical book off my TBR, which is Mickey 17. It's just, I'm a mood reader, so I pick from my pile of library books, physical TBR books, what I want to read. And my mood read said Mickey 17 because I haven't actually read it, and I do want to watch the Robert Pattinson movie for it. So before I actually watch the movie, I'll read the book. So this is going to be the next one off my physical TBR, and then I picked up another one at the end of last video, the Hawthorne Legacy, because I remembered I actually took this out from, I read it from the library, because I knew I had this one on my pile, and I knew I'd get to it pretty quick because I love The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. But the next library book after Mickey 17 was going to be Belladonna, but because I remembered I have this took Belladonna's place, and then Belladonna took this place. So this will be my library read for after I read Mickey 17. and I absolutely cannot wait because of the cliffhanger this left us on. So my goal for this week is to try and read more pages than what I read last week, which was 2,271 pages, and then read more than 7 books. Those are my minimum that I have to reach this week. So that is what I have to reach before I then continue going on. But if I can't get more than that, that's completely and utterly fine. But that is just my main goal for the week, mainly because I'm a chronicle. I'm not an overachiever, but I can be in competitiveness. Yes, with myself. And I am trying to read a lot of true, non-fiction books this year in 2026. So there will be a lot of non-fiction books coming in like this. So if you do see non-fiction, that is what I'm trying to get more strong on Instagram as well. And autobiographies and just biographies in general. So let's start this challenge. So a bit of an update on how far I've actually got with this. I've got to page 19. I had 90 odd pages, 90 set of pages to read. So I read to page 9, which got me down to 88, and then I read 10 pages to then get me down to 78. But before I actually did, my group chat went off, and now I didn't get to 170. I went even before I could get down before I could even get to page 19, I shot back up to 120 page counts that I actually need to read, which is absolutely crazy. So far this week's page count is 19, as I haven't actually managed to read the other 120 pages. I reckon tonight is this could be done. I think it's 300 and some left. Let me double check. It's 339 pages, so I reckon I could quite easily finish this by tonight or tomorrow. I'm actually on this Saturday night, so I'm going to do it Saturday night to Saturday morning is how I'm going to do this, instead of doing it Sunday to Saturday. Starting on a Sunday and then finish on Saturday. I'm going to start on the Saturday night and then about 10 p.m. and then yeah. So I reckon I could easily get this done by tomorrow at the earliest, because I've got 120 pages. If I read that, it'll get me to page 239, meaning I will have 200 pages to then read, and I can quite imagine seeing myself getting 200 things through, because obviously not 200 texts, but I can see myself getting text messages about different things, like their family, their kids, because they talk about their family and the kids quite a lot. That's really what got the page count up to 120, because Hannah was talking about her family, about her grandmother and her brother. So Hannah doesn't have any kids. She doesn't look after nieces and nephews, unlike B does. So that's why I've got a separate rule for B if she talks about her nieces and nephews. If she looks after them, and you obviously notice if you watch part 1, episode 1 of this. So this is episode 2. This is actually the longest challenge I've actually done, because I normally quit halfway through. So we're going to see how many pages I can get through this week. Hopefully 220, more than 2,271, and I can quite easily see myself getting 200 more pages tonight, between tonight and tomorrow. So that will actually help me get to the end of book 1 of this challenge, and then I'll obviously get on to Mickey 17. I think that's 200 pages. I can't actually remember how many pages. It's just over 300 pages, 310 pages, something like that. So I can easily finish this. 317 pages this book is, so I can quite easily see myself finishing this by tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, depending. And I can see myself finishing this Monday morning, maybe Monday afternoon. And then that's 2 books done. And then we'll go straight on to the Hawthorne Legacy. I do already know what my next physical TBR book is going to be. Going to be Part of Your World by Adi Jimenez, because I know I'm mood read, and this feels like what I feel like I'm going to be in the mood for after I've read true crime, science fiction, and then YA, and then go on to, I don't know if it's considered YA, but it's considered a romance book. So I'm going to try and like space out my genres. So true crime, science fiction, YA, romance. So this will be added, and it's part of a series, and I have both of the books in my in my pile of books that I need to read. So I might actually put them into this, not this video, but like into Welcome, because of the fact that like, depending if I like this series, like this book or not. I do have over 10 books that I've got out from my library at the minute that I need to read, including Hawthorne Legacy and I took 10 out. I took 10 out on Thursday when I went to the library last. And I already had like 5 out, something like that. So I have maybe like 4, depending. So I have about 14 library books out. So if I can spread my books out between them. But I know I'm going to try and go again on Tuesday, because Monday's a bank holiday, so I'm going to try and go again on Tuesday and take back this Stephen King book I just read, like the bottom books, because I took it from the library. Hopefully I would have finished this and this by Tuesday, and I'm also going out on Tuesday because I have to be somewhere, so it also gives me an excuse to be out of the house and then come back and go to the library and then come back home with my library books. So, or I might just come home, get my library books that I need to take back then. And I do also have a bunch of books on hold, but I don't know if they're going to be at the library by Tuesday. If they are, great. If they're not, then I'll go a different day. I am honestly trying to go to the library every single day to see what books they've got there, because obviously people and I'll probably go to the next town over one of the days, because their libraries are bigger than my local one, and it's both in the same branch, so it will count if I go there. So I'll go there one of the days and then see what they've got, because they've sometimes got better books than what we've got at my local library, so we will see what actually goes on. Quick update about this: I DNF'd it because I got to page 89 and then I was like, no. So I read 89 pages of this book and then I just decided no, because I couldn't read it anymore. So yeah, so that means I'm going into Wiki 17. This is the first time I'm reading it, and then because the next book after this is going to be Hawthorne Legacy, as you already know, and after this I'm going to be reading Part of Your World, because it's book 1 in that series, and I've got all 3 books in this series. So this is going to be my next physical book, book off my TBR after I do finish this. I am probably going to go out and get a copy of this book, and then the next book in the series, which is The Final Gambit, and then The Brothers Hawthorne. I am actually going to buy all the copies of this book when I can, because of the fact that I loved The Inheritance. I loved the first book in this series so much, and that was actually a book off my physical TBR. So there's going to be this one, and then I'm going to buy the entire series of this, because What do you mean? As BuzzFeed said, impossible to put down. I 100% agree. So I have 136 pages left to read. So 136 pages, 36 pages of this, and then I would have caught up with how many pages I do actually need to read. So yeah, I'm gonna go read this. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So an update on how far I am through Mickey 17. I went from page 142 or something like that to page 197, and that's taking me to minus 6 pages. Because I'm only trying to read a book a day to get these books I want to read done. So I'm on page 197. I have just over 200 pages. No, just over 100 pages until I think it's like 130 pages to I get through this. Obviously I DNF'd my race by Silver because I couldn't get into it. Got 89 pages in. This will take me to like 300 pages. Read overall in 2 days since starting this challenge, 24 hours ago. So I'm going to try and read this book today, and then obviously get to the Hawthorne Legacy and then Party Your World. I'm hoping to get to this and finish it by tomorrow, and then hope to get to this by Tuesday, because I do want to mainly read a book a day, trying to, for this challenge. I am reading on the side of this, on my Kindle, but like, well, I'm Kindle limited because I have Kindle on my phone. I don't actually have a physical Kindle, so I'm trying to read like physical books for this challenge. But if I do read all my physical books, like when I get to the end of my physical books, I don't think I will then go to my Kindle. So I'm hoping to do this tonight, at the end of tonight, tomorrow, and finish it by tomorrow night. So then I can say I've read a book a day from this challenge, and then that should take me up to 6 books, depending if I manage to fit in 2 books for the day, physical books a day. So we will actually see if I can get to the end of Mickey 17 tonight. I've got 120, 130 pages to go till I get to the end, and then I will then start the Hawthorne Legacy book. I read The Same Forward as Backwards, I think that's what it's called, or Same Forward, whatever the prequel to this is, not this, but The Inhabitants Game. Read that. So then I read that right before the challenge even started. And then I will buy my physical copy of this on Tuesday, I think, when I go and pick up 2 books from Waterstones, and then get the Final Gambit and the Brothers Hawthorne. I'm going to probably get the rest of these books in the series and just read them all, and I'm going to try and get the rest of the books in the other series that I'm reading by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, so then I can get through the backlog, because I really like Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing. I like how she structures her books. So I'm going to read this, which is Mickey 7, and the move is called Mickey 17. I'm going to try and get to the end of this tonight. Will probably take me into 130 something minus, but my group chat should get more busy now because it's about 5-6 o'clock in America, and B's niece and nephews will give it to bed soon, about 8-9 o'clock. So in America, so that'll be like 1-2 a.m. for me, but maybe a bit earlier, maybe midnight. So I am nearly done with this, so I'll update you in the morning. Finished Mickey 7, gave it 4 stars overall. It was a decent read, I enjoyed it, but I did get to like minus 22 just to get to the end of it. But not the worst position I ever put myself in, and I know that I could easily get out of this by the minuses tomorrow. So my next read is going to be the Hawthorne Legacy. So obviously I have 2 books on my TBR that I want to read straight away. So I'm going to go straight into this because I fucking love the first one, and I do want to get through the series as quickly as I can. So off my TBR, Part of Your World, obviously, as I told you earlier, because I put it on when I got to Mickey 7. So now I need another library book onto my thing, and Belladonna is going to be the second book on my thing. So this was supposed to be read now, but because I wanted to go straight into Hawthorne Legacy, I switched these two. So this was supposed to be read after Part of Your World, and Belladonna was supposed to be read now. But because I wanted to go straight into this, switched. So obviously Belladonna is going to be the library book I read after Part of Your World. So I'll give you an update when I have actually got into Hawthorne Legacy and what I think of it, and if it's as good as the Inheritance games. So let's go. Finish this book. What do you mean about the things that happened in here happened on 5? Like, I've obviously rated it 5 stars, just like I did the Inheritance games. I'll be out tomorrow, so I am going to buy the next like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 books I'm missing, because what do you mean? And then we're obviously going to buy this as a trophy, because what do you mean? And I need to know what happens in the final gambit, which is the 3rd book, and I also need to know what happens in the Brothers Hawthorne, which is the 4th book, and the last book in the Inheritance Game series. And then there's obviously 3 more books, well, 2 more books, because one's not released yet. That gets released in next month. No, it gets released in June. And like there's a spin-off series in the same world as this called, I don't know what it's called, but it's the Hawthorne Select, and I'm gonna need them 2 books, and I'm definitely gonna buy the 3rd book when it comes out. What do you mean this happened? So tomorrow I'm gonna get the book, and then I'm gonna come back, read it, but I'm obviously gonna listen to the rules of reading a library book and a book from my TBR. So I'm not going to put it on straight away because, yeah. So the next book is going to be Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I'm going to read this. I've got the other 2 books in the series, as well as this. So I've got all 3 books in this series. I heard it's really good. And then I've got Belladonna, which is going to be my library book pick for the reading book off my TBR and reading a library book. And then my next book is going to be Happy Medium. So this is going to be my next TBR read, and I'm not rushing straight away to put the 3rd book onto the TBR. I will put it straight. I do have like a pile of what I do want to put onto the thing, but I'm gonna bend some rules and change it because I can, and I will. So this is one I'm definitely pushing up. Not this one. The next books in this is one I'm definitely pushing up because I don't want to read it. So this was one like the one I read after Belladonna. So I've got another library book pick after this, which is going to be Leon and June. And the one I was going to read after the physical book I was going to read after that was going to be Light Lark, but I'm going to push Light Lark after a few books after I finish the Inheritance Games series. So I'm still going to keep it on my TBR. I'm just going to rearrange some of the books that I was going to put into this challenge, like this TBR. So Light Lark's staying, but it's going to be pushed back quite a bit to, well, 4 physical books back. so I'm still going to read it because I want to. I'm probably going to pick up the rest of the series for when I go out tomorrow. I think I'm missing 3 or 4. I can't remember how many I'm actually missing from this series. I think it's 3 or 4. But so, and then I'm going to put that series straight away. I am mending a few rolls, mainly because I do want to finish series this time in the middle of. So I've got 3 pages left. That I've got, so that's going to be 3 pages of this. But I did just get context then, so that number's going to go in to that. I am keeping up with reading a book a day, so that was my book for today. And obviously my yesterday's book was Mickey 7, and hopefully this will be even my tonight read. See how far I can get tonight. See if I can finish. I don't know how many pages it is, but I'll see if I can finish it tonight, or it will definitely be my tomorrow. Like, if I don't finish it tonight, I'll definitely finish it tomorrow, because I'm trying to read a book a day, so for this challenge. But I'm hoping to get through more so that I can beat my 7 book thing. So I've read 758 pages so far over 2 books and 1 DNF, and then this will be added to the page count. I would quite frankly consider myself reading, so I've got to beat 2,200. That's the limit I have to. That's like my minimum. I have to read like 2,200 pages, because that was my last week. That's what I hit last week, and I'm gonna beat 7 books. But I know that once I get my hands on the rest of the Inheritance Game series, I am gonna put them straight there, and I can see myself reading them like that. So before Saturday, I can see myself doing it like that. So I can see myself here. So, and I'm excited. So yeah, let's go. An update on this. I've got to page 144 last night. And I'm in -1 pages, but there is a few texts in my inbox that I haven't added to the count yet, but I will do in a bit. So far I'm absolutely loving this book. They're both so cute and things like that. I haven't gone out because I haven't been feeling very well, hence why I haven't actually picked up Part of Your World today, because I'm not feeling very well, and that's why I haven't gone out today. But I will be going out soon when I feel better to get the next couple of books in the Inheritance Game series. So I'm going to continue reading this. Hopefully I'll get through it today. I do have like just over 200 pages. I think it's like 374 pages. Something like that. Yeah, 374 pages. So I'm just under 200 pages. So just over 200 pages away from finishing this. I've got probably like 230 pages left until I finish this. I reckon I can see myself finishing it today, well tonight. Then I will be starting, Belladonna. So that means Light Lock will be my next book off my physical TBR after Happy Medium, because I haven't gone out to get the next couple of books in the Inheritance Game series, so I haven't been able to, but I am hoping to go out in a couple of days to then get the next books in the Inheritance Game series, and then put them wherever I am after. And obviously, as I said, my next library book will be Leon and June. Those are like my next 2 picks after I do read Belladonna and Happy Medium. So I'm excited about that because I absolutely love Gogglebox, and Leon and June are one of like the cutest couples on the show. They're so cute together. Love them, so I can't wait to hear about their story. And it's actually written by June herself. So I absolutely cannot wait to start this. I am 2 books away, well, 3 books away from getting to this. 3 books away, and I absolutely cannot wait to hear about a story. So my rule is, with my library books, if I rate them over 3 stars, this is what I say with my Kindle books, like that I read on my Kindle. If I rate them over 3 stars, I will get like a copy of the book, and then like as a trophy. But if I rated it below 3 stars, I then don't want it because of the fact that I rated it so low. So it's going to be my rule with library books. So I definitely know I will be picking up a copy of Leanne and June because I absolutely love them. And then I will be picking up a copy of Brothers Hawthorne as like a trophy. And there's a few Kindle books that I do want to buy that I've read on my Kindle as like a trophy of the fact that I have read it. I might order the books online. This is the Inheritance Games books. I might order them off Amazon, and then yeah, so then I can have them because my dad has Amazon Prime, so I could just bribe him to get me them books and I'll put the money into his bank. So because I absolutely want the next 4 books in the series. So I might just ask him to order the Brothers Hawthorne and the Final Gambit, them 2 books, and then next month ask him to order me the next 2 books in the series. So and then that will get me to May, and then in June the newest one will be out, so then I can ask him to get me the last 2, including that one. So you might ask him to order me 2 every month because he loves me, and I know he will because if I say I'll put it into his bank. So I absolutely can't wait. I might just tell my mum to order it off his iPad and I'll just put the money into his bank account. So I actually cannot wait. So I've decided that I'm going to change the rules up a bit. I'm going to up the page counts for things, mainly because of the fact that I want to, and it was kind of struggling to work things out. So Hannah sent a picture of her outfit, was 10 pages. I think it was 5, and put it to 10, and now it's 20 pages. So, B sends a picture of niece and nephews, 20 pages. It's still 1 page for a text, like just normal text. If I'm tagging the message was 10 pages, it is now 20 pages. If B sends a message about Criminal Minds, it is now 20 pages. It was 10, it's now 20. If B talks about her niece and nephews, 20 pages now. It was 10 and it went up to 20. If a Facebook post is sent into the group chat, it was 15. Now it's 20. If a single emoji is sent, it was 5. It's now 10. If Hannah mentions her job was 5 pages, it's now 10. If B mentions NCIS, it's 20 pages now. It was 10. And then if they mention their families, it's both 20 pages each. If they were both 10 pages apiece, so now it's got 20 pages each. If a photo is sent into the group was 10 pages, it's now 20. Any gifts is now 20 pages, it was 10. If the nursery nurse is mentioned, it was 10 pages, it's now 20. I have added some new rules. One Direction is mentioned, I obviously mentioned that. That was 20 pages, it's now 30. Pets is mentioned was 10, it's now 20. If they tag me in a Facebook post, it was 20, it's now 30. If B sends a hypothetical text message about murder, because we all talk about he would murder, it was 20 pages, and it's now 30. If Harry Potter is mentioned, that means if the movie, any one of the movies is mentioned, including like characters, the actors, particular scenes, particular movies, and then I also stated that the new show and the new actors were included in that, like count, like yeah, because it was still Harry Potter. So like, say if we talked about the new trailer, that would be 20 pages. It was 20 pages. It's now 30 pages. I have got to page 114, I think. No, 214 actually. I haven't taken it off the page count just yet because I'm trying to get to a certain page count, like 276. 274 is what I'm trying to get to before I then take it off the page count of how many need to be read. Like, there is conversations still being had in the group chat, so the page count does actually continue to go up. So the book is getting good. I've just got to the scene where Alexis and her mother are celebrating Mother's Day. So this is how I've got like 200. I've got 160 pages left of this book. It's a fun read. I can see why people really love Abby Jimenez. I love her writing and the way she tells this story. It's really good. I can see myself giving it 5 stars. I won't be going straight into the next 2 books after I've read this, mainly because I want to give myself a break from the series and things like that, because there's other books that's high on my TBR, like what I want to read than the rest of this series. So I will get to it when I get to it, but at the minute it is not something that I'm 100% going to continue straight away. But I am still enjoying it. I can see myself, obviously, as I said, giving it 5 stars, and the page count should get me up to 1,000 pages read for this challenge in 3 books and 1 DNF. And I absolutely am loving it so far. So, absolutely cannot wait to finish it and see what happened at the end. So last night I didn't get to finish this because I was ill and I wasn't feeling really well and I went to bed early. So I took it upon myself to actually finish this book today, because I had just over 230, 40, maybe 50 pages, over 150 pages left of this book. So I picked it up, finished it, absolutely loved it. I was sobbing. What do you mean? This is my first book by Abby Jimenez, but she knows how to write a good love story. She knows. She put her heart and her soul, and she decided, I'm going to rip mine out. She's going to rip yours, the reader's hearts out with this. Absolutely 5 stars. I'm going to take a break from her books because it's going to be as sad as this. No. Hated the ex-boyfriend Neil. Hated her dad. They were twats. They can go into book guys that we don't like. So there's going to be a list of them. But now we're going straight into Belladonna. I have 22 pages left, but there is some texts that I haven't looked at. So that we're going to page 22 of this if I don't put them into it. So, can't wait. I've heard everything good about this. And then obviously, you know me. But if you know me right now, so I've read 3 books for this challenge I'm on. I've read 1,132 pages so far, and that is including the DNF book. So we are going to go straight into Belladonna. So we want our book, and then Happy Medium is the next book from my TBR, physical TBR, and then it will be Leon June. I cannot wait for this. I absolutely cannot wait. He died 2017, I think it was. He died. Yes. And no, I am not. I'm not ready. I am not ready for this, because I absolutely adore Leon and June, because of the relationship that they have with one another, and like you can see how much they love each other through their scenes on Gogglebox. So I just know I'm gonna be sobbing towards the end of this when he dies. Well, I'm just gonna be sobbing. And I absolutely cannot wait though. So I'm gonna go and start Belladonna so I can get straight into Leon and June. But you know what, let me get straight into the Arjun because I absolutely cannot wait. So let's go. An update on this, I am absolutely flying through it. When I looked at it, I just started it. I am on page 193. I'm just over, probably about 210 pages away from the end. I've still got texts to add in. I am in -6, but I just know that when I add the pages into the thing, it'll be over that. It's alright. I can see it sitting at a 3 to 4 star for the rating. So yeah, I'm on page 193. I've got like, it's only like 403 pages. So I've got just over 210 pages left in this book. Until I finish. But I can see myself doing it tonight. Yeah, 403 pages. So I'm just, as I said, over 210 pages away from the end. I'm going to try and do that tonight to do 2 pages a day to make up for me not finishing part of Your World yesterday. And then I'm going to jump straight into Happy Medium after. I haven't read anything by Sarah Adler before, so this is my first time from her. It's going to be my first from Madeline Grace. But my next TBR book after Happy Medium is Light Lark, and I have already read a book by Alex Astor. I read her Summer in the City book. I was just looking at my bookshelf. Yeah, I've read her Summer in the City book before, and I do want to read Sky Shade by her as well. So, can't wait. Quick update. Finished Belladonna last night. I read the entirety of the book last night and gave it 4 stars overall. That takes me up to 4 books read, 1 book DNF'd. I am up to 1,115 pages overall. I am catching up to where I need to be, but I will get to there because I've got over 1,000 pages I need to read just from text messages alone. I've got to page 98 of Happy Medium last night, so I'm making my way through that. And obviously I do a library book and a book off a physical TBR. In between, we've got Happy Medium, and I obviously said last night I'm going to be reading Leon and June straight after, and then I'll be picking up Light Lark. But I have planned my next 2 books. So we've got The Woman by Kristen Hanna. This will be my first Kristen Hanna book. I've never read anything by the author, but I heard she's a really good author. So that's going to be my next library book after I finish Light Lark. And then when I finish The Woman, I Am a Mob Boss. The Last Confession of a Criminal Kingpin. I got this from the works. It was in the 3 for £7.50. And I obviously, as I said, I'm trying to get more into my true crime stuff. So picked this up because I've got 1,000 pages to read. Well, at the minute it's 987 pages, but I've got texts that I haven't added on, so it will be over 1,000 pages. I think this is like 400 to 500 pages. I don't actually know how many pages this is. So 409. And this is, I think, 300 and something. 306. So that's like 700 pages here, and with the rest of this, which is like 200 pages, I think. Yeah, like 200, well, 300 pages, just under 300 pages. So I would have got up to 3 books and over 1,000 pages read. But I know there's going to be more texts in the group chat that I haven't added on to the page count. So that's why I've got The Woman and I Am a Mob Boss like ready, because I know that there's going to be more. I'm not adding the texts that I've got in my notification bar to the count yet, because I want to get through the 987 pages I already have in writing for me to be read. So I will quite literally finish this, because it's just under 200 pages. Quite literally finish this, which is 300 pages. And I think I'll have enough to finish Lightlark, but we will see. That's a lie, I have my next 4 books planned after these 3, and these 2. So it's going to be Rose Murder by Stephen King and The Bride Test by Helen Hong. I think that's how you pronounce the name. So I got a Stephen King book because I did take a break from reading Stephen King, because obviously I read that really massive book, of all of his. So I just decided to pick his up because I know that I will have over 1,000 pages to read, and what better way than to pick up a Stephen King book. Here are my hopefuls for once I've read all of these books. You may be thinking, why do you have so many books that you want to read? It's my hopefuls, because I like to plan ahead, so I sort of know what I'm doing. So we've got The Best Foot Forward by Shirley Balls. That's gonna be the next one I'm hopefully gonna get to. The American Room Experiment by Eleanor Lambs, and One Night in Paris by Nina George. Those are my 3 hopefuls that I hopefully will get to, but I don't know how many texts I will evidently have to read. So these are my 3 obviously at the minute, and then these 2 will be next, and then obviously so will these 2. That's if I do get through these quite quick. It just depends, honestly. So hopefully I will get to them quickly, because I know what my group chat's like. They're going to start texting me again. But it is only 10 AM for me. Well, 20 to 11 for me. So it'd be like midnight for them. So they will start and because V's niece and nephews are going to school again because of the summer break, she will be up by 12 PM for us, well for me. And the texts will slowly and surely start rolling in. I am going to try and get through this as quickly and as humanly possible as I can. I'm enjoying it. I can see it being a 5-star overall, but we will have to see obviously when I read the remainder of the 290 pages I have to read. I am excited for this, and I'm obviously going to be excited for this. I did hear mixed reviews for the Lightlark series. But honestly, it will just have to see, because of the fact that I did read Summer in the City by Alex Astor, so we will see if I do like this as much as I liked Summer in the City. I think I rated that 5 stars. I can't remember now. But yeah, I'm going to go and read and see you all in a bit. So, I've got a bit of an update. Don't mind the mess behind me, I've just got back. I haven't read any of this since I last updated you. I'm still on page 98. I've still got 970 or 87 pages left to read. I was out. I went to go get food with I went to go get breakfast with my granddad. I went to get my prescription from the pharmacy, and then I went to the library. I also went to a charity shop in between, so I'm going to show you what I got. There is also a reason I am on the floor. It's mainly because I'm literally by my book pile. This is just a pile of books that need to be read, and I like to keep them sorted like that. So yeah, I'm just going to show you what I got. So first book I brought, this was from the library. It's called The Method. Okay, lovely title. Now I'm going to have to do all of that. Update on how I'm doing. So far, I'm doing quite well. Then I'm expecting to finish this. Get a bit 5 stars overall. It was a fun cozy romance. And I enjoyed it. I was crying during some minutes. So, I loved Ed. I didn't like his name one. I did like him. He was funny. And when I say funny, he was like quite literally. Yeah, Everett. He's quite literally the funniest person you have ever met in your life. Like, I enjoyed his character a lot more than I thought I would. I liked Charlie, but he could have been better. So that meant I was going on to they are June. And then that meant I'd have Lightlark and Norman on my TBR. I went into this. I haven't been doing like 6 hours. I haven't spent 6 hours. I upgraded it to it's now 11 o'clock. That's how long it's been. And then I read this. 5 stars overall. Absolutely loved it. It was so cute. Absolutely loved it. It was a good read. It was a fun read. So that meant I'd have Lightlark, the woman, and I am on box. On my TBR. I have 101,333 pages to read and anything or the opposite much because I am trying trust me, I am trying to get it all down, but because of the fact that pop keeps coming through, it means the numbers only going to get higher. So I've actually got new rules. I didn't tell you the actual proper rules now, and I added 2 more events on spreadsheet. Bones is mentioned is like that, which is 20 pages. Serial Scent, 10 pages. I told you 3 of them, and that's the last one I told you about. I didn't have the page counts. Big Bang Theory, also been episodes mentioned, 10 pages. Mood, like say if I say something in the picture, like, oh, and I say whole wall chicken, and they just put mood, 20 pages. And say if I put a post on Facebook, Instagram, in the comment, 20 pages. So I am on page 109 of Lightlark. I'm loving it. So far, I can see it being a 5 star. But I am only 109 pages in. I have 200 pages left. I have had 6 pages so far. 6 books for this challenge so far from Saturday night to today. With the amount of books I've read, it accumulates to 1 book a day. I only have The Woman and I Am a Mother here with me. I don't think I'm going to need any more than that because I'm at Nan's and I'm going off Saturday. I'm going home Saturday. So I was just thinking, oh, I'm not going to get through 5 books. I have 3 left. 3 left. I know. So overall, I have read 2,209 pages. I think I'm going to beat that one. Yeah, I am going to beat that one to be like Rock, because Lightlark's 400 pages. And my page count will go up to at least 2,400, which would take me over the threshold for page counts for what I need to get, because week 1 I had 2,271 pages, and then once I did Lightlark it was like 2,400 pages. But I am trying to read the book a day, as I said today, so I can beat 7 books. When I read Lightlark, it's going to be 7 books. So I would have got to the minimum amount of books I need to read to catch up to be on the same wavelength of last week. So I will need to then finish The Woman to get to 8 and then beat 8 pages. Well, 8 books, not pages. I feel like I'm doing great this week. I'm doing better than last week. The highest the page count has gone is 2,200, I think. 2,200. It got down to like, I don't know actually. And then it's been going back up. It has been going back up like that. I've read 2 books so far. No, I've read 2 books. And I am definitely can see myself completing Nightlock, The Woman, and I'm a Mob Boss by the end of tomorrow, maybe start Saturday. I might end the video when I finish whatever book I'm reading on Saturday, and then start up again. So, new video for part 3, episode 3, which is crazy. I'm already on 2 on this challenge. I think don't get me started on how many pages I reckon this is going to get me to. I am going to count how many pages I've read overall. This challenge works up of read overall, and then books of DNF. So far, it's 13 books to DNF, and about 4,200, 400 books. About, don't take my word on it. So hopefully then, when Saturday comes, I will have read 3,000 pages. Yeah, because they've put them to at least 2,600, actually 2,600, and equally between them, I reckon they will take to 3,000. Just this one alone probably could take me to 3,000 pages. I don't think so, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll actually have to see when I get to the end of it. I am 460 pages, I think, so it could. We'll have to see when I get to it, but I can see myself beating last week's goal. If I put more into it, as I said I would, be able to, in the end of the last video. So, we'll try and see how many I can get through and how many pages I do when I finish this challenge. I absolutely can't wait to see how many pages we have through on Saturday, because I'm not gonna try to add it up because of the fact that we are making good conversations in the good chat room. We're talking about my book, we're talking about Bees Kids, not Bees and Nephews, Bees and Nephews. We're also talking about how to work, so page count is definitely gonna work, and I'm not gonna put one to the page count because I'm gonna just run them and talk about it with them. And I can see myself quite easily get back to 2,000 pages because of how quick the conversations will flow into the group chat at the minute. I'll update you maybe tomorrow, if not that. So a bit of an update. Finished this, gave it 4 stars overall. So I'm now on 2,618 pages read. So I have reached my page goal and succeeded it. So all I need to do now is finish The Woman, and then for tomorrow night, and then I would have reached 8 books read this week, and then I have 1,084 pages left to read for this challenge, but there is text in my notification bar. I'm trying to get that number down promptly before I put any more in, because I've got 1,084 pages to read and I only have 2 books left on what I brought. The Woman and I'm a Mob Boss. Hopefully we can get to both of these by tomorrow morning. If I can't, that's fine. But hopefully. Don't mind the wet hair, it was quite a shower, so I've got an update for you guys. I finished The Woman by Kristin Hannah. I gave it 3 stars overall. It was a fun time, I enjoyed it, but it didn't live up to the hype of what people were saying that it was, if you know what I mean. I still had a fun time. I still enjoyed it. So I obviously gave it 3 stars, and I probably will go out and read the rest of her backlog because I like how she read this book. It was fun. I enjoyed it. 3 stars. And then I finished I Am a Mob Boss. Yes, stars. I can't even know I have already read it. I read and gave it 4 stars because I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it, but it got a bit flat at the end. I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to start the new one. So I'm going to do these stats. We have read 9 books from front to back, DNF to 1, and I read 3,349 pages, which is better than last week. So, thank you for watching. See you in part 3, well, episode 3.